sandwich cookie fix lately because it is easy to make 3 fuelings all at one time, and then I don't have to worry about baking later on. Plus, to me, the sandwich cookie tastes so much more decadent as a dessert or a sweet treat than just a plain cookie or just a plain brownie. So let's have fun with fuelings. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Elizabeth and I am living in the light by documenting my weight loss journey. I am on a journey to lose 153 pounds. 140 of them are already gone as of this past Monday. So I have 13 left to go until I start to transition and move on to the maintenance plan, which I'm really excited to be able to do that. But for now, we're still having fun with our fuelings, and I hope to be able to continue some of these for the conceivable future, so we shall see what happens. Before I show you how to put this one together though, would you please just give this video a thumbs up? That just really helps me. It's a small way you can support me in my channel, and also to just give me a little bit of encouragement that you like the content that I provide. It really does help when I get those likes on my videos. Also, if you haven't subscribed, if you would consider subscribing, and share my videos with your friends on Facebook groups. If you see somebody asking a question and they're like, how do I use this fueling? I don't like it. See if I've got a video and share that video. That would be awesome. I'd really appreciate it. So let me show you what I'm going to do today. Today I'm going to make a peanut butter ganache filled chocolate butterscotch cookie. So I'm going to use the chocolate fudge pudding mix, the golden butterscotch blondie. Those are going to be my cookies. And then I'm going to use the peanut butter shake as a filling. And you've seen me do that before, but I'll still walk through the process in case this is the first one you've ever seen. So I have my oven preheating already to 375. It should be there by the time I get this mixture ready to go. And so I'm gonna put these ingredients together. You could use a cookie sheet for this. I've done that in the past, but I've started using this jumbo muffin pan. So this one comes from Pampered Chef, but you can buy jumbo muffin pans anywhere, or if you have like the muffin top, because that is wider than just the little regular size muffins, that would be fine. I like this because it makes sure that my cookies are all perfectly round and the same size. It just makes it a lot easier for filling. So I'm gonna take and just do a little spritz of nonstick spray at the bottom of each one. I don't really have to spray the sides because the mixture is not going to go up the sides at all. I'm going to make sure, I don't really need to weigh this one because I'm going to use a scoop to make sure that my cookies are all even. So I'm not even going to confuse the issue. Let me just set that aside. I'm going to dump the golden butterscotch blondie into my bowl, and the chocolate fudge pudding mix. Interesting thing about the pudding is, so for optional snacks, Optavia allows sugar-free Jell-O as an optional snack, not sugar-free pudding. So I know Jell-O does make pudding, but when they say sugar-free Jell-O, they mean the actual gelatin. There is a big difference between the amount of calories, the amount of fat, the amount of carbohydrates, and the amount of protein between Jell-O and pudding, and that's the reason why the pudding doesn't fit into what they would consider an optional snack. And also, speaking of optional snacks, there is a finite list in your guide of optional snacks. There are not any additional snacks. If somebody's telling you otherwise, they are not snacks. Anything that you eat has to come from the guide or an Optavia list and not some other list that somebody else has created, because there's a lot of old information and a lot of misinformation floating around. So do make sure you're really careful about the information that you get and to whom you are listening. So I'm going to use 5 tablespoons of water, which is really my full little measuring cup here. And I probably don't really even need that much. And I'm just gonna mix this up. I forgot to grab a spatula, so I got a fork here. That'll work. And I wanna mix it so that I don't have any dry pockets of fueling anywhere. I I say the fork is good, but it's really not. All right, this is much better. That way I can scrape. There's my oven, letting me know that it is all ready to go. So the Butterscotch Blondie is the only new fueling that has been released in the time that I have been on the program. So I started on the program on June the 20th of 2022. In October of 2022, they released the Butterscotch Blondie fueling. And since that time, and it is now the first week of August in 2023, there have not been any new fuelings. All right, this is a 1 tablespoon scoop. I'm gonna put 1 scoop. It's gonna probably take about 1.5 scoops. So 1.5 tablespoons of this mixture in each of the wells. I don't think you can hear this, but it is pouring rain outside. And I have a metal roof on my house, and it is one of the most glorious sounds. We have a 1-story house, and there in the sunroom, the ceiling goes all the way to the roof, with the exception of some spray foam insulation above the roof rafters. So it sounds wonderful. I can't hear it in the house part because we have ceilings, but it sounds so amazing. I want to make sure that the cookie mixture spreads out. So I'm going to wet my fingers, just plain water. Doesn't do anything to the fueling, just adds a little bit of water to it. And try to pat it out just so that it gets pretty close to the edges. It will spread out a little bit as it cooks, but I'm gonna help it out a little bit and just try to get it a little flatter. And having wet fingers just means that the mixture is not gonna stick to my fingers. It'll stay in the little well. Then I'm going to pop these in the oven. The oven again has preheated to 375. I'm going to pop it into the oven for about 8 minutes, and then I'm going to flip them over just to make sure that they're kind of crispy on both sides. And I'll show you what they look like when they come out of the oven. So what I did was I flipped these actually onto this rack, and then I slid them upside down back into the muffin thing because it was too hard to flip them over. I actually tried to flip this one over and made a little hole in it. So I'm gonna let these cool completely, and then I will come back and show you how to make this into the filling. So remember, I had 3 fueling packs total. I had the pudding, the Butterscotch Blondie, and this. So that's 3 fuelings. I made 3 sets of 2 cookies. This is going to be divided into 3 so that I will end up with 3 fuelings out of 3 fuelings. And it makes a great combo, very chocolate with the little bit of butterscotch and the peanut butter. It's going to be a delicious one, but I'll show you what it looks like. These are going to probably take about 20-30 minutes to cool off completely before I can add the filling. I'm going to really quickly show you how to do the filling for this, and I am going to use the scale because that does make it easier for me. So I'm going to add in the peanut butter shake. Do whatever shake flavor you like. I love the peanut butter one. So I'm going to use the peanut butter shake and 2 tablespoons of water. And I want to make sure that my mixture is something that I can divide by 3. So I have a mixture that I'm gonna put 21 grams per cookie, and it's not gonna look at first like you have enough water to make it work, but trust me, it is. And once it sits for a little bit, it will solidify. Also, once you put this in the refrigerator, if you're not gonna eat them right away, make sure that you refrigerate them. I do like to use a spatula like this to mix it up, because the peanut butter fueling can be a little bit clumpy. So I want to make sure I'm kind of smushing it to make sure I get all of the clumps of the mix worked out. Then I'm going to start with 1/2 at a time, zero out my scale. I'm going to put 21 grams of fueling, of the mixture on here. It's almost 21 grams. Plop on the top and set that aside and just do the next one. And of course, you want to make sure that you scrape out. I'm probably going to need to scrape it really well because I cut this really close with my measurements. So I really have to scrape off my scraper. Swipe or no swiping? Who knows what that's from? Comment down below. What's that from? Somebody knows. There we go. So these are chocolate butterscotch peanut butter filled sandwich cookies. They're going to be delicious for my fueling. Give these a try. Again, give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments box down below if there are any fuelings you'd like me to hack, any flavor combinations you'd like to see. And until I see you next time, please live in the light.